Long ago, before Christianity came to Nagaland, village life was simple. There was no electricity, no company-made products. When the sun went down, the entire village sank into darkness. The only light came from the moon, from the flicker of the fire, and from pinewood splinters that people lit by hand. In those days, a grandmother lived quietly in her bamboo house. She knew nothing of the modern world beyond her village. Life was about farming, gathering firewood, and telling stories by the hearth. One day, a preacher arrived. He gathered the villagers and spoke about God and Jesus Christ. The grandmother listened from the crowd. The preacher's words were strange, but one sentence stayed deep in her mind. When God comes again, His light will shine so bright that all will see it. She never forgot that line. Time passed. The grandmother did not convert to Christianity, but she often wondered, what kind of light would this be? How bright could God's light shine? One night, as she was sleeping, she was woken by a sound. Bamboo creaked, footsteps shuffled, and suddenly, a sharp, dazzling beam of light pierced through the dark. It was unlike anything she had ever seen in her life. It wasn't fire, it wasn't moonlight, and it wasn't pinewood. Her heart pounded. Ah, she thought, this must be the God the preacher spoke about. His light has come tonight. But I am not a Christian yet. If he sees me, he may be angry. I must hide. So she stayed hidden under her blanket, trembling, shutting her eyes tight and not daring to look. Meanwhile, the bright light moved from one corner of the house to another. It was not God's light, as the grandmother thought, but a thief carrying a torchlight. He happily took her rice, her baskets, her blankets, even her chickens. The grandmother stayed under the blanket, still believing it was God Himself, and she dared not come out. By morning, everything was gone. She rushed to her neighbors, crying out, "Last night God Himself came to my house. His light was so bright, I could not look at Him. Since I was not converted, I hid. But now everything I had is gone." Her friends burst into laughter, holding their stomachs. Then one of them explained, "Grandmother, that was not God. That was just a thief carrying a torchlight." The grandmother was stunned. She had never in her life seen a company-made torch. To her eyes, it was a miracle. And now she realized how foolish, how innocent she had been. Later, she would laugh at herself too, saying, "All my life I used pine splinters. I never imagined such a light could exist. That night I truly believed it was God." Moral of the story. This story reminds us how innocent people once were, living in a world untouched by electricity or modern inventions. They didn't know of torchlight, yet they lived with dignity and peace. When new things arrived, they mistook them for something divine. It is both funny and pitiful, because it shows how easily ignorance can lead to misunderstanding. But it also reminds us of the pure hearts of our ancestors, people who lived simply, without greed, and who believed deeply in what they heard. Today we may laugh at the grandmother's mistake, but her story is a mirror. It teaches us that knowledge is precious, and that innocence, though beautiful, can also make us vulnerable. And that was the story of the grandmother and the torchlight. A simple story, yet one that reflects the life of our people, before Christianity, and before modern inventions, reached our villages. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that still carry lessons for us today.